Hello and welcome once again to Live with Monica interview show. I'm Monica Pierre. It's where we sit down with some amazing organizations, individuals, people doing some great things and shine a spotlight on that. Today, we are going to continue with our Thrive in 25 week, where we're going to interview people who are part of the Thrive in 25 Women's Conference coming up at the end of this month in Chicagoland. And I have a wonderful slide to show you. Make sure that if you haven't registered, you really consider it because it's going to be a conference like no other. And one of the people involved in the conference, we have the one and only Dr. Susan Lovell. And thank you so much, Dr. Lovell, for being with you. I'm going to call you Dr. Susan. I have permission.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being with us. You have an amazing backstory. We love stories on the shows that we do. And we're going to also talk about and get a preview of what you have coming up as a speaker for the conference as well. But I can get why they call you Dr. Susan. Easy enough, right? But you're also referred to as the Thrive Architect. Why do they call you? How did you get that name as well?
Well, it's mainly because after my career, 22 years as a plastic surgeon, I had my own health issues. And the way that I healed was by what I teach people today, their nutrition, their movement, their stress levels, hormones, everything that they need lifestyle-wise to be able to thrive, which is why I'm thrilled to be in this conference. So that's the thrive part. And the whole thing is I want everyone to know that you can literally design your own life. You can design how you do. And so that's where the Thrive Architect comes.
Well, that makes sense. And I'm so happy to know that. And of course, I'm researching on, excuse me, what now? 9 years old. She is a prima ballerina with the NYC Metropolitan Opera. So are you throwing a little ballet and all of that into what you're doing nowadays?
Well, they always say that movement, which has always been a part of my life, is one of the skills. It's how your hands work. So it didn't make a big leap to go from moving my legs to moving my fingers in surgery. And now what I'm teaching is, how do you move your entire body in a way that brings more joy and vitality to you as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. And people, we're live, everybody, checking in. We have Natalie, who was our guest
Oh,
yesterday, day one. So hi, Nat. I love seeing you with Monica. Thank you so much. This is an amazing conference. And again, the people say things, oh, this is one like no other, but this has turned out to be a conference like no other. What's your sense of how attendees maybe react to something that they will experience? Because again, it'll be some things that we have not experienced before when we go or have gone to typical conferences.
right. Absolutely. I think the biggest thing when I spoke with Natalie about this last year, that's how long this has been in the making. We thought that we were going to have so many different women from different stages in life, from different industries, all coming together and really not just networking in the superficial way, but networking in a deep way to understand about each other, to learn from each other. And all of these things put together into this one event. I mean, from our keynote speaker, Erin Gallagher, to Natalie Benamou, who put together her C-suite, to you. Oh my goodness, the more I read about you, the more excited I am to be meeting you in just a few weeks. So all of these things together in one space where we can gather them and enjoy and, kind of, well, I'm going to not let down my hair, but let down our hair and be ourselves as we grow. I mean, that's just an amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. It's going to be in Chicagoland. And of course, people love going to the Chicago area as well. So let's dive a little bit and, don't have to give it all away, but your session is going to be quite interesting. What can you tell us those who attend the conference will be in store for?
Right. So I really want to, in the first thing, the main stage, I want to share with people. I have a framework that I have learned over the years, three simple things, and I'm not going to give you them. You're going to have to come to the conference for that. But three simple steps that when you incorporate them, when they become part of your life, you can approach any issue, any difficulty, any controversy, anything that you want to grow in apply it, and it works. It's just amazing. So those are the three secrets that I'm going to be sharing to just increase your executive ability and just your vitality. And
Right.
then the workshop that we're having, so excited because it's all about hormones. And I describe hormones as an orchestra. It's a symphony, and each hormone is a different instrument. So when they're all working together and everyone's doing their job, it's a beautiful piece of music. But even just one is out of order, you get this discordance that can wreck the entire piece and wreck your entire body. So I'm going to be sharing with the women that we're working with. We're going to figure out, what's going on with you, and then how do you start putting that orchestra back in tune again.
I'm kind of laughing because as I'm checking the comments, we are live and we have Stephanie from New Orleans. She says she's joining from her doctor's office.
Oh my goodness.
How cool is that? Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And
Oh,
Danielle looks like she's going to be at the conference as well. Excited to head to Chicago.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
wonderful. And one of the things that Natalie talked about yesterday on the kickoff of Thrive in 25 week was this whole idea of not just networking, but net giving, that it is reciprocal.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
right, right.
It's
How do
all
people react with that? Because again, sometimes we're not used to that.
exactly. I mean, I think, when we think of networking, we think of, you go and you gather a whole lot of cards, you stick them in your pocket and you forget about them to the next event. And then you're like, oh my goodness, who was that person? But when you actually go and meet people one on one and understand who they are, and how you can actually give back to them, then it just takes it up to a whole nother level.
Absolutely. What brings you the greatest joy about the work that you're doing now and the way in which you're doing it now?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, the way is the freedom. Now that I am in lifestyle health, no longer in traditional medicine where you have to go by codes and regulations. Now I can look at the patient, I can look at the client and say, what do you actually need? And how can we best get you there? That's the joy of it. And then the way that you see change in people. So, when someone will come in, because I'm all about transformation, that's why I went into plastic surgery in the first place. I like to help people transform. But when we can transform them from the inside out, when we can change literally the expression of their DNA by changing how they live, their lifestyle, it's just an amazing gift.
It is. It sounds amazing. So I want to make sure people, though, who are just joining us, the Thrive in 25 Women's Conference is going to take place in Chicagoland at the end of the month. 25th, 28th of June, and I'll have the actual website. So if you haven't registered or you just want to get some more information, definitely you'll want to join. In fact, let me do that now while I am thinking about it. I'm playing all my roles today. I love it. It's Thrive Dash, that's very important, in25.com. It'll give you all the information. And again, what we're doing here this week on Live at Monica is spotlighting not only the women's conference, but some of the amazing speakers and even the vision behind what we're doing and what was going to take place as well. So, what was it like? You seem to, again, you're 9 years old, you're a prima ballerina, you're doing, you're like 4.0 in undergrad, 4. I mean, you're just a brilliant person. It's like, how does one person get so much? God, can you like sprinkle a little bit on the side? But no judgment, no comparison. When you made the decision that the focus would change and you'd be more into the lifestyle and the wellness as opposed to being focusing primarily on plastic surgery,
Mhm.
internally, what was that decision like for you? And then also externally, because we have so many powerhouse women who join me on my shows who want to pivot, who want to change, who want to do something different, but it's all the voices that say, are you
Mm,
crazy? You've been doing this for
yes.
25 years, 22 years. Why would you even change?
Why would you change?
What was it like for you, and how did you navigate that?
Lovely question. Well, internally, it started because of my own health issues. I had been pushing myself the same way a lot of high-powered, executives and women in leadership will do. You will push yourself because that's what you've got to do, right? You're told the show must go on, you must continue. And I did until my body said enough. And I won't go into great detail, but it was that healing, 3 times in the space of a year, my body said it had had enough. And so I want to share that, burnout doesn't always look the same in different people. It doesn't look like a full collapse on the ground or some kind of emotional distress. It could be being in the hospital with blood clots in your legs. That's what it looked like with me. But that healing period afterwards was when I started seeing that change. And we were talking briefly before we got on, with people who come to you for plastic surgery to get their tummy tucked, they don't want to hear about how they should change their lifestyle and
That's
eat
why I'm
differently.
coming to you. Fix it.
Exactly. So that's when I started thinking maybe it's time to make that change, because the inside out is such a stronger and more long lasting change, transformation, than just something on the outside.
Right. So, and then externally, you just have to know that this is your life, right?
This is your life. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. ThriveIn25.com. You can register and you can save at her C Suite. So thank you for that, Natalie, as well. And thank you so much, Dr. Susan, for being with us. This has been such a delight.
Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to meeting you next week.
In person, yes.
A
Hold
couple
on
of
just
weeks.
a second. Yeah, just a couple of weeks before. Oh my goodness gracious. It's
Yes.
happening sooner than
Right?
later. Yes, hold on a second. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Once again, here is the information, or just an idea of what the dates are, the 25th to the 28th. It's Thrive in 25 Women's Conference, Chicago Land. And we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Thrive in 25 Week. Until then, have a great day. Talk to you soon.